Hey everybody, Hunter, Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and Country Cook, Steve Hall here in Nashville, Tennessee with another recipe. Let me start out with a stick of butter in my little fry pan here. And I'm going to do something that's just a basic thing, but it's something that's going to make you think outside the cow. Now, I love steak, and I know you do too. Grilled, whatever. I love my ribeye. Bone-in ribeye, no bone-in ribeye, sirloin, not wild about New York strip, or even filet mignon. It's too lean. I like that marbly stuff that's got all the goodies. But now that we got our whole stick of butter in here, let's get a close-up and I'll show you what I'm going to do today. All right, let's start out with some mushrooms. And I buy these mushrooms here in bulk at Kroger's because the ones in the box, they're like $3.95 for just a few ounces of them. And what I do is I take the little stems and kind of chop them off till I get a flat mushroom that'll lay down like that. Cut her in a few strips, and you can leave it kind of bigger like that if you want. But I'm going to throw these in that butter in the pan. Just cut off them little tail whackers there. And I'm going to do something today that I haven't did before because I just never thought about it. Now, I went out to a few people's houses and I've had leg of lamb with mint sauce and some of that stuff, and I just really wasn't that wild about it. Well, one day I was going through Kroger's and I was looking in their steak section to see what they had on sale for ribeyes. Let me dump my mushrooms in the butter and get them going here. In fact, now's a good time. I like to season up the mushrooms and the butter because I'm going to cook the steak in here as well. I'm going to pan fry this steak. Am I looking pretty good on center there, Sheila?
Good.
Of course, the magic for garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder, pretty much, and onion powder, not onion salt, of course. Use the powders. A little bit of salt, not too much. And then of course, you know me and pepper. I like quite a bit of pepper in there. Get it going. And I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Kind of let these mushrooms kind of soak up. And I put in a full stick of butter because these mushrooms will just soak up so much butter. And I want some left over for what I'm going to do here. Now here is the reason I did this video. I've ate steak for years, and I've even ate leg of lamb at somebody's house, and I just wasn't really that crazy about it. But the other day I went by Kroger's and I picked up a package of lamb shoulder chops. Now their steaks were pretty expensive and their little baby T-bone looking lamb was pretty expensive. But this package here is like $6. And it's got all these funny little bones in there, and I thought, well, maybe it'd be tough, but I'm going to take it home and I'm just going to fry it. I'm going to season it up and fry it like I do a normal steak. And I'll tell you what, I almost don't eat beef anymore. It is that good. Now you can do it on the grill as well, but I'm going to do the same thing. A little salt and pepper here. A little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. And you have never ate meat so tender in what is kind of considered a cheap cut if you got this in beef. Don't forget my pepper here. And just a little easy on the salt. Alright, I'll transfer this over to the plate. Fried lamb shoulder slices. Or even, let me get my counter back straight here, or even you can get their little lamb chops or you can get their lamb steak, but you have never tasted anything so tender and so delicious than lamb. I just absolutely love it. It's out of this world. So it's kind of my new fave. Let's get our mushrooms settling down here a little bit. They're already looking good enough. So I'm going to pull these off to the side and just kind of pull them up on the side of the frying pan and let them drain just enough because I kind of want some of that juice. And now I've got all the juice in here from the mushrooms. And you can use any mushrooms you want. I buy those white, great big white ones because they're only like $2.99 a pound in bulk. Of course, you can really wine and dine yourself and get portobellos, or if you're lucky enough to live in Minnesota, you can go out and get your mushrooms out of the woods. They're absolutely incredible. And here we go. Let me crank this baby up on high. Now, there's a couple of theories about turning steaks. I've heard them say you should only turn a steak once. I've also heard you should never stick a fork in the middle of a steak because all the juices will go out. So if you're going to turn it from the edge. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to turn it back and forth a couple times until it gets really good. Of course, I like it medium rare. And, you know, you kind of feel like Hannibal Lecter. You want lamb chops, extra rare. But I'll tell you, this stuff, in fact, I'm going to move this down to about medium high because I'm cooking with pure butter. And you can put a little bit of oil in your butter and it'll help the flash point from, you know, taking off so quick and your butter burning up. But I'm going to fry this up. I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to wait till I get it all done. And we'll be right back in a second. I'm going to show you the finished product. Okay, it's all done. Warning, once you try this, you might not eat beef for a long time because you'll be eating this every day. It's got that funny little bone that runs through there. Now, I took it out of the frying pan, cooked it on medium-high heat, and I let it set for about 5 minutes so the juices would kind of soak back in. And I'll tell you, you can tell, look at it, I could almost cut it with a fork. Lamb, and this is what's kind of almost called the cheap cut. It's the lamb shoulder chops that got the bones in. It's not like the lamb chops, but it's just lamb shoulder cut. And I got to tell you, this, look at it, the meat falls back and forth. You've never tasted something so delicious that's so tender until you've had one of these lamb cooked up. Forget the leg of lamb, forget the mint sauce, forget all that fancy schmancy stuff. Just fry it like you would a steak. Go medium rare, don't cook it to death. But I think this is something that you could actually cook well done and it would still be tender, where beef won't let you get away with that. You got them mushrooms on there. I wish these were morels picked out of the woods up in Minnesota, but they're not. Got us a beautiful salad here with some peppers and some tomato. It's got a dollop of our homemade blue cheese dressing, which is on our channel. Check it out. It's got some of our homemade French dressing, which is on our channel. Check it out. And I'm going to set this up so I can do a little thumbnail picture. Oh man, look at that. A little bit of blood running out of the corner for all those that you don't like rare. I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to say one more thing here. All right, now don't send me no emails and don't post anything, but I'm going to tell you something that I like. I like steak sauce. And I know there's 100 people out there right now that say, hey, if you got a steak that's really good, you don't need steak sauce. But it's all what you grew up with. I've got old home movies at home, black and white, that my dad did on the old Super 8 stuff that actually show Heinz 57 steak sauce sitting on the table. And about 20 years ago, Heinz changed their recipe like Coca-Cola. They screwed it up. They call it ketchup with a kick back then. I wrote them a letter, said, man, what happened to that neat stuff with vinegar in it? And it had real raisins, and now you use like a raisin concentrate. You ruined it. Well, let's send you some samples. And they actually sent me 2 little bottles, A and B, in a box unmarked. I wrote them a letter back. I said, you can take A and throw it in the garbage because it's that junk. And if you would, make me about 4 cases of the good stuff and send it to me. They said, well, we can't do that. I said, I see. You're going to let me eat this stuff for 20 years of my life and then take it away and change the recipe but not make the original. So they have kind of moved back towards the middle. It has that little bite like it used to have, kinda. Somebody along the way said, you know, we're losing money because nobody likes the new stuff, but we won't tell anybody that we screwed up and we'll move it back towards the middle. So it's kind of okay in a pinch. But in the meantime, we moved over to Branson, Missouri, and I worked a bunch of theaters over there with my show, the Shotgun Red Variety Show. And I went in a little buffet and I had a steak and they had Country Bob's on the table. Now, don't even talk to me about A1 because I can't even choke that stuff down. Get some Country Bob's. They have it at Walmart. This stuff is fantastic. So bye-bye Heinz 57, hello Country Bob's. And I know for you guys that are straight up steak eaters, don't put it on there, but I'm going to pour a little on the side so I can dab my lamb in there. But give it a try. Get one of those lamb shoulder chops. Fry it up like you would a steak, medium rare. Season it up with your salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Let it cool down for about 5 minutes and it will just absolutely melt in your mouth. You've never tasted anything like that. And as old as I am and as many things as I've ate, I've never tasted anything that delicious, and I've only been eating it for about 6 months now, and I love lamb. Not the leg of lamb with the mint, but just fried like a steak. Give it a try. Is it the best lamb steak taste, soft eating, beefy, I don't know, whatever that you'll ever eat? If it ain't, it ought to be. This is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee, along with Pretty Miss Sheila. We're getting ready to have some lamb steak and a nice big salad with our own homemade dressings, which are also on there. And by the way, if you like our recipes, there's the subscribe button right there. Give it a click. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel so we can let you know when we come out with new recipes. And if you watch a couple of those commercials at the beginning and you don't skip them, they give us a couple of pennies and we can buy it up in groceries, make you some more goodies. This is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee saying thanks a lot. I am going to finish this off. Bye-bye.